UNSC report, Office of Naval Intelligence, 2521. New Harmony is under attack. Reports of flood infestations planetside are emerging. Planetary defenses and Spartan ground teams are attempting to contain, but they need reinforcements. All active deployments are being hereby redirected to New Harmony immediately. Also, redirect Battlegroup Sierra 3 to Terminus. The system's defenses were decimated by the flood assault, the loss of an Infinity-class supercarrier and Battlegroup Terminus being forced to retreat, and then only barely with their lives. 2 Allied reclamation fleets were also lost of all hands in the disaster. The created uprising may have been put down for good, but if we don't purge the flood now, then they could very well become unstoppable. Get it done. Hi guys, Tom from Project T here, and welcome back to Stellaris Responsibilities Mantle. Last time, the flood, despite an initial start of just not really going anywhere for most of those 10 years, have finally started to spread out into the galaxy. And they did so with a surprise attack with multiple battle groups on terminal egress. They attacked Battle Group Terminus and the Allied defense fleets that were stationed there. Both Allied fleets were completely annihilated. One banished, one on... No, it was one Ungoy and one Yanmi fleet apiece. Both got absolutely destroyed. Well, Battle Group Terminus lost its supercarrier, and what was left had to retreat from the system. Fortunately, for some reason I am tactically trying to make sense of, the flood didn't press the attack and take terminal egress, which they could have done very easily at that point. Instead, they retreated through the L gate again and re-emerged in the Ribbleland Vortex, which they're now taken for themselves, which puts them in striking distance of Harvest. But again, the terminal egress was a much more strategically valuable target. They could have spread to the entire damn galaxy through that, but they decided not to take it, which allowed me time to rebuild Battle Group Terminus and bring it back. It's only missing its supercarrier now. And likewise reinforce them with Battle Group Sierra 3. So we've got a decent defense at terminal egress again. So I'm not quite sure what the Gravemind was thinking there. I'm not sure he was thinking, to be honest. That was a uncharacteristically dumb move by the Mind of the Primordial. Well done, lad. I guess they just need a key mind to make those tactical decisions. Speaking of key minds, they are very close to taking New Harmony, which is going to be bad if they do. I'm trying to reinforce as much as I can. I've got martial law, I've upgraded all my bloody defensive buildings, and I'm building Spartan squads and rocket warhogs and everything after the kazoo. But that's only increased it so far to 2.8. They've got an attack force of 10k coming in, so we can delay. But unless we get there in time to deploy the Marine Corps to reinforce them, we're going to lose New Harmony, at which point we're going to have to make use of the UNSC Kingmaker, which is our mini Halo array to cleanse the world. And I'd rather not do that to New Harmony. It's one of my planets, there's a lot of my people on it. So it's time we started moving in. They've claimed 2 systems. They've still got a fleet over the L gate, if they decide to use it. This is one of the ones that initially went in, I think. Hopefully they're not about to jump back in. They've got multiple other fleets spreading out. They have one over the Great Wound, a small one. Another one's about to attack my station in this system. But they are quite spread out. Unlike before, where they're all clustered together, so much so that it would have been foolish for me to attack at that point. Now that they're spread relatively thin compared to what they were, our 2 battle groups primed and ready to go. One including Reclamation and Omega 2, the other being the Home Fleet, Star Clans Battle Group, and the UNSC Reclamation, they should be able to take out anything that's in their way, given what's currently on the field and where they all are. That is the plan, anyway. Assuming all goes well, we should be able to just pincer them in and take them out before they consume any more systems and decide to retake terminal egress like they should have done before. Well, their mistake, they didn't. But, moving the Flood aside for a moment, in terms of technology, we have 7 months of focus arc emitters, 6 months just more crops, and mining station output in 6 months as well. In the galactic community, we are focusing on the Prothean Scourge, which will succeed in 354 days, which will put the heat on them even more. The Reclamation, finally hit level 5, which increases our chances further, because damage to endgame crisis, plus 25%. And that's on top of the plus 50% we already have. So we have plus 75% overall damage to endgame crises. Nearly double. So we are in a very good position right now to squash it before they can spread many further. Because if they properly establish themselves, get a planet, they can start spawning reinforcements, and that's when things get dicey. So we want to stop them before that happens, wipe out the endgame crisis before they can get any real foothold in the galaxy, and we will call that a massive, massive win. I am starting to deploy my forces. My battle groups are on their way to Alphard, where they'll be ready to jump into the Vortex. Kingmaker's on their way to Yamether, and the Marine Corps is on its way to Shrewdner, ready to rendezvous with the battle groups when they are finished with these fleets there to go into this system here. I mean, this fleet should stick around after it takes the station, because they do tend to do that until they get a construction vessel in to claim it. So they should be alright for the time being. What's the current exact fleet deployment in the Maw? So they have 24.6. There's a transport fleet. Starbase at 27. So 2 transport fleets and about 50 odd K altogether in strength. So yeah, we can definitely take that multiple times over. Alright. So you two, battle group, are going to follow the UNSC Reclamation. That will take lead. So follow UNSC Reclamation. Follow UNSC Reclamation. UNSC Reclamation. Take back the L gate if you can. Jump in at a safe distance, and then we'll start to move you in properly. And would you look at that? That's a beautiful deployment if I've ever seen it. A big old smattering of starships all heading towards the end of the Flood. That's the hope at the very least. The size of the bloody Reclamation. It's huge compared to everything else. Even the Juggernaut back there. The Dreadnought, rather. We got Thanatos, the automated Dreadnought, a UNSC Infinity class supercarrier, the UNSC Eternity. All heading in. Very good. And we have jumped in, the UNSC Reclamation having instantly caught some fire. It's long ranged. Alright, we see the fighter craft are heading off. That's a massive bloody debris field there as well. Christ, look at it. And the Grave Mind. We are having our first, well, second official engagement with the Flood. First one we've purposely engaged ourselves. There goes the Max. Come on, jump in, please. All those fighter craft. It's taking them so long? You have the same jump drives. Come on, guys. They're not jumping in. Come on, jump in. So our clan's battle group as well. Go. Yeah, they just weren't activating their jump drives. What the hell? There we go. For some reason they weren't activating their jump drives for unknown reasons. Which has caused the...
Engaging hostile forces. Engaging hostile station.
The reclamation had to jump out. Fucking Stellaris. Even though they were told to follow the UNSC reclamation, they decided not to follow the UNSC reclamation, just sat at the edge of the previous system without activating their jump drives. Oh, video games. Why are you so buggy? Be that as it may, it is safe, and the rest of the fleets have arrived. We are going in. Home fleet's taking some casualties. So are they. Our clans have lost some ships as well. Not as much as them. The fleet is down. And there goes Gravemind. At least one of them. Very, very good. There's just a debris field of what was left of their vessels. Alright, that leaves us in a decent position. Very small fleets there. Biggest grouping is here. It's going to be a bigger one. Alright, so what have we got here? So 37,000, so about 40k. Together we have 150 odd here. Alright, you guys. Jump into the system. UNSC Reclamation, how are you doing? I can just send Reclamation straight back into Rixosmore once it's repaired. Since there's a L-gate in that system. Ooh, we have research complete, so more food, edict duration up. Or Paradise Domes. Paradise Domes, why not? And mining station output is also up. What do we have to replace that with? That'll be quick, let's just grab that. Just catching up on all vanilla tech we haven't gotten yet. Oh, I'm still so annoyed about that. The Reclamation had to bloody retreat because its own escort didn't follow it properly. God damn it. At least they survived. If we had lost the bloody Reclamation, that would have been a disaster.
Engaging hostile forces.
Meanwhile, though, the rest of our fleets have jumped into the vortex. We are cleansing this L-gate system as well.
Research
denying them access to any more L-gates, they can't retreat to terminal egress. And if they can't retreat to terminal egress, they can't spread to the rest of the galaxy. Alright, casualties. We took a couple of corvettes. What was the other fleet here? This one. Also took a few corvettes. Focused archivators, researched. What do we want to replace that with? Sure, building cost. Whatever floats your boat. Alright, a few more days and this will pass the resolution. 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Reward 100 influence as well. Defeat the Prethian Scourge. Slash the Flood, because, you know, that's what they are. The Flood. Alright. Very, very good. UNSC Reclamation has just now finished its healing. So head back to Rixosmore post-haste. Well, that's fun. They've started, yeah, the transport fleet is in orbit of New Harmony, and they've just started bombing it. I have a feeling they're trying to kill us. And there they go. Flood spores are descending upon New Harmony. Damn it. Reclamation, where are you? Reclamation is now about to jump back in through the L gate. Here we go. Alright, Reclamation has arrived. We've gathered our forces over at this system as well. Alright. You two. Head in, take that damn thing out. Then we've got to go through these two as well. And this one. Meanwhile... Alright, so... UNSC Reclamation. Home Fleet. Zarklan's Battle Group. Get in there. Now, if you so please.
Report.
And here we are. We are engaging them on the ground. Christ, what have we got defending? Just defensive armies. We've got some Spartans on the ground as well. For 3.5 versus 10k. Oy vey. However, our forces have arrived. Excluding Reclamation, which is going to be the last to jump in, apparently. Either way. Let's go. Here comes Reclamation. I see the slip space portal opening. There it is. Fighters and Mac cannons away. Very good. Take out the one bombing New Harmony. Alright, good. New Harmony, what's your status? Down to 3,000. The Spartans are doing their jobs. Where we go at with this one? They're now arriving to take out the 6 point. Alright, you follow in behind them, along with Kingmaker. Alright, there we go. Our outpost here has been restored. 2.6. Alright, UNSC Reclamation, you stay above the planet. Zarklan's Battle Group. Home Fleet. Engage this fleet here. Get rid of it. Actually, I can send just one for that. Alright, Zarklan's Battle Group, you're faster, you do that. Home Fleet, head back to Rexar's more. Guard our flanks in case any more spawn in. And then we can both pincer our combined forces of both Omega 2, Reclamation, and Zarklan's Battle Group on the two broods here. I'll be completely outmatched. At which point we have a very clear path for our transport fleet to get in. So long as they hold out for the time being. Zarklan's Battle Group has arrived, the other fleets have taken care of the other 6 point whatever, and are getting into position at the edge of the system to jump in. Right, that's another one biting the dust. Admiral gains traits, get into position at the edge. Once you do, I'll order all fleets to converge.
Construction completed.
Okay, good. Go on, get a move on. Alright. Engage. You two as well. Engage, come on. Let's get this moving. Engage slip space engines. Zarklan's is in, and so are the others. Pincer maneuver going in from both directions. That'll have them divide their forces further to fight both. Grave mine is firing. Game is auto-saving. There you go. This massive fleet battle, look at that. Full might of the UNSC and our allies. As you can so see, we've got several Covenant vessels in this fleet as well. I think this time we have truly claimed responsibility's mantle. We've got Zarklan's battle group coming in. Their fleets are done. So's the Gravemind. Alright, we have a direct route. Land armies on New Harmony. Oh no. But are we too late? That is the real question. Even the Spartans have fallen back. They gave them hell, but they were just so outnumbered.
Research concluded.
And being the Flood, they just used the dead. What shall we get? Sure, just grab something. Well, we watch this unfold.
Priority alert. Planets succumb to invasion.
They are in the process of infesting. We might not be out of it yet, though. Still, there's a reason we posted the reclamation here. They were waiting. Yeah, boom. Alright, there goes all of their transport vessels. Yeah. They honestly should have kept them there, which means there's nothing opposing our armies. Another fault of tactics on the Flood's part. If they kept their armies groundside, they would have been able to hold the planet better, but now they've got nothing. So long as we can get there before the infestation is finished, we can stop them. Hello? Out of time. Our observers report a most bizarre occurrence today. It seems that the Apexi hordes have vanished overnight. Even their home system has been reverted to its original decayed state. It's not clear what the cause of such a turn of events was, but it's likely that whatever temporal event brought them here has reverted or failed. If it was not for the trail of destruction they left in their wake, as if they had never existed. End of the apex organism. Well, how our luck has turned. That's one thing we no longer need to worry about, it seems. The Halo Installation 07 has reverted back to its original state.
Our forces are making planetfall.
Just
knowledge is the key.
Another
to the universe.
inert ring. But better yet, we have retaken New Harmony. We lost some pops. They are not happy right now. All of Judgment is damaged. So the planet has seen better days. We lost a couple of pops on it. But we managed to stop the infestation from occurring. We got there just in the nick of time. A few more months and it would have been a dead world. A flood world, a key mind. Which means, now that their last-ditch effort to take a world has been thwarted, only one remains. Home Fleet, if you could do the honors. Let's do this. And here we are. The fleets have arrived. The last Gravemind. Alright, the Gravemind is down. And let's take out the last of their transport fleets, their colony ships, everything. Wipe them out. And just like that, the Flood has been defeated. The end of the Scourge. The galaxy breathed a collective sigh of relief today as the last significant pockets of the Flood were expunged. Their extragalactic invasion has failed, and all that remains of the Protheans' once colossal swarm are the innumerable charred husks that now drift quietly through the void. A sense of elation and utter joy is spreading across the galaxy at greater speed than light, and spontaneous victory celebrations have erupted on countless worlds. Could this be the beginning of a new age of galactic peace and stability? The organic technology is most intriguing. And that, as they say, is that the Flood is gone. Never, hopefully, to return. Now, we just need to reclaim what was lost, which means construction ships and also plenty of debris to analyze. Cheeky shit. Claiming your excels more. Alright. The Ribalon Vortex take. And anything else we need. Great Wound take as well. Oh, get back in here yet. Huh. And it seems the Banished have decided to finish off the United Front while we're at it. Sure, why not? Let's do it. Ah, and Battle Group Terminus has just gotten its Infinity class back. The Infinity 2, it's now called. I suppose while we're here, we might as well stick them to work. How long will it take you to get to their space from here? Ah, they have a wormhole here, so just a quick in and out practically. Alright, not long at all. Get on it. Huh. Our scientists at the beer system have identified at least 2 distinct Dead Space One life forms in the debris field. Interesting. There seems to be the remains of a Flood ship here. Well, what could go wrong investigating this? Also, Terminus has taken the beer system, which the Sanghedi are going to get. So let's move them on to the next one, shall we? Like we're just about to catch out one of their fleets. Terminus is going in. Saving Sanghedi Station in the process. Even though it's a former URF one. There they go. Alright, you head up to that system then. And just like that, the war is over. And they've been relegated down to a single system. I should have waited a little bit before taking that peace offer. Should have taken Gish and that would have finished them off for good, but oh well.
Concluded.
Genetic engineering. After studying multiple specimens, it is now clear that different phenotypes classified Bear X1 and X2 are in fact different species, despite sharing several genetic markers and characteristics. There are no variation between the individual specimens of each of the 2 classifications, implying either asexual reproduction or cloning. The organisms themselves appear to be the product of genetic engineering, as natural evolution to their current state is highly unlikely. Both X1 and X2 feature exceptionally hardened carapaces similar in durability to military-grade armor plates, as well as organs that seemingly acted as mass drivers for organic projectiles, of which our exploration team found multitudes still buried inside various wrecks. Judging by the debris field, they must have been formidable combatants. Just genetically engineered Flood forms. Strange. And because I can, I think Reach is due for a bit of an upgrade. Sacrifice and duty. After spending multiple weeks exploring various wrecks within the vast debris field spanning the Bear system, our exploration team made a major breakthrough. When investigating one of the wrecks, it became clear that they had identified the former fleet's flagship. Furthermore, the ship was found to house a still intact data storage, from which our scientists were able to reconstruct the events that took place roughly 4,000 years ago. Their empire fought a desperate war against the extragalactic invading force of void-born life forms that consumed all biomass in their way. Yeah, the thing we just defeated, the Flood. Growing ever stronger the more they consumed. We know. This was the Forerunners. The swarm closing in, this once thriving population center of multiple settled worlds, and only a token force in range to meet the attacks in time, the Admiral had to make a hard decision. Knowing he could neither save his people nor defeat his foes, he decided to instead destroy every colonized world in the system in an effort to deny the enemy the biomass they were coming for, before engaging them in battle to give the rest of the people's fleet as much time as possible to close in on the threat. The last entry of the Admiral's log reads, "Some may question my right to destroy planets of tens of billions of souls, but those who understand will realize they had no right to let them live. No sacrifice can be too great when our entire galaxy is at stake. They did their duty and so shall we. Our mere existence seems to prove that this sacrifice was not in vain." The Swarm. The knowledge of what once happened here and the threat of another extragalactic invasion, our scientists call for wide-ranging preparations as a contingency in case the Swarm should return. For all we know, this invasion force could merely have been a vanguard. Despite how dangerous and threatening it clearly was, given this looming shadow on the horizon, a few of them have already put forward a proposal to carry out in-depth studies. I mean, this would have been good earlier, but we've already done that. The Flood came back, but we killed them. It's a tad bit late to the party, I feel. And I think that's as good a place to end it as any. Yeah, this episode next I had a feeling, but I think we're at the end of our run. Overall, we've had a very, very successful time of it. Aside from a few close calls back when the Khan first emerged, we managed to get out of that slightly early due to him kicking the bucket from age. He was apparently a very old Khan, which, you know, was helpful considering he'd taken everything around here. And we managed to thus stop him before he got to Harvest. Harvest never fell in this universe. Harvest exists still. One of our many, many Gaia worlds. From the get-go, I mean, we were pretty set. Thanks to the Bowel. Every single planet we colonized was a Gaia world. That helped tremendously. Slightly overpowered in a way. Because it just meant we had resources for days, our pops were happy. Our planets weren't much of a hassle to keep on going. So, thank you, Bowel. You made this playthrough possible. And the Flood have been defeated. They turned up. They spent so long sitting on their bloody hands that by the time they did make a strike, we were pretty ready. We'd upgraded all our ships with the necessary stuff, and I'll never understand why they never actually took terminal egress. Apparently I forgot to reclaim the nanite there when they destroyed it, but oh well, that'll get done. Yeah, had they just taken terminal egress, they would have had access to so many places all across the galaxy. They could have just exploded, attacked several other planets. It would have been much more of a pain in the ass to root them out, but no. Instead, they kind of just retreated back to their own claimed space, and thus I was in a good position just to finish them off. How strange. The Banished nicked a couple of those systems, but we've reclaimed most of it. Bin 2 is doing quite well. It needs its stations repairing as well, but yeah, New Harmony will recover. They came perilously close to infesting it, but our Marine Corps, led by the Master Chief, landed planetside and reclaimed it. Rooted and excised the infection before it could eat everything. And, you know, look how big the reclamation has become. We have like 90% of the galaxy, with the exception of the United Rebel Front, who, let's face it, they're not long for this world. They'll collapse very soon. The Mantle of Responsibility, who were just kind of... they're a bit things are a bit tense right now, but honestly, we'll probably just live alongside them. we haven't really got any beef anymore. We didn't have most of the campaign aside from that one war we did. Then we get Klo have joined, and then there's the Fallen Empire, who just have been giving us ships. They awakened, but didn't really do anything with that. They're sitting there. And of course, we're building the mega shipyard over Reach as well. There's the construction ship, working on it. It's 31% into it. So, yeah, that won't take too long. Reach is an absolute naval powerhouse, as it is meant to be. I mean, its armies are 3.7 and room to grow. It has the Kingmaker over it, which thankfully we never had to use. Battlegroup Sierra 3. Its main station is just all shipyards. And now as the mega shipyard, yeah, my fleet making capacity will be beyond reproach. Doubly helps that they have the reclamation over Earth, as we do. Over by the Black Crown. Remember the Black Crown? The early days where there was just things being spat out at us. And it just turned out to be a portal to Ungoi space. Which was slightly disappointing, but there we are. We don't always have what we want in life, do we? Yeah. So 118,000 strong home fleet, the UNSC Reclamation there. So an Infinity class supercarrier, Halcyons, Marathons, Autumns, all these frigates, halberds, Supermac platforms, the Galactic Market Station, we always kept that. They never took that from us. Quite proud of that fact. They tried, but we managed to veto them at every turn. Earth itself remains the capital of Empire, prosperous. Got a Paradise Dome there. Finally managed to get the population crisis sorted, so it's doing quite well for itself. And of course, we ourselves are in complete control of Halo Installation 04. Key to bureaucracy, commerce, and research. 3 of the 4 possible ring segments, and the 4th is damaged. So, yeah. All in all, the galaxy is in a very good place. The flood is gone, and the reclamation is thriving. I think we have reclaimed the mantle responsibility for ourselves. Sorry, Forerunners. So, thank you all so very much for watching, and well, I shall see you next time in Stellaris. Sirrah. Final report to Office of Naval Intelligence, 2552. With the URF finally put down, the galaxy can return to a peaceful state. The Forerunners remain independent. I doubt that will change, but they at least seem content with the status quo. The Arbiter is seeking to mend wounds of Sanghelios, so perhaps they can finally become one people again, with a bit of diplomatic work. I do not believe the Themlar will follow through on their threats for a holy crusade. At least not so long as the Reclamation holds the head of Zarklan, at the very least. Seems that old things still have some use. My thoughts can't help but go to the Admiral that once made these reports during the advent of the slipspace drive in the 23rd century. And here I am, the 26th. An AI designed to emulate him. I guess we became immortal after all. Still, as I move on from this post in a post-flood world, I can't help but worry. I've been running constant calculations based on the ancient Foreigner derelict we found shortly after the Flood War. The Foreigners who once inhabited that system speculate that, even after firing a Halo array, more Flood yet existed beyond the galaxy's edge. This was also speculated by the survivors we now encounter today, and this was proven true with the latest invasion. But perhaps something tells me the worst is yet to come. End report. Oh, but we're not done yet. We got to the end of a series, the second Stellaris series, and this time we actually fought the Crisis because the game didn't shat itself. That's fun. But here we have one little segment at the end regarding next series. And there are 4 options for that. First off, above you'll be seeing Mass Effect. That's the one I'm currently leading towards. A modded Mass Effect playthrough, either playing as the Alliance or the Asari. I'm thinking the Asari because there's a mod that has a very specific origin attached to them that might make things a tad interesting. And yes, that means a contingency. But Reapers will be the endgame Crisis. And I'm going to put the endgame Crisis difficulty up slightly next time, just to doubly shit ourselves. Then there's also other options though. Tell me in the comments which one you want, because Star Trek, specifically the New Horizons Total Conversion mod, is what I'm thinking as another option. Then Star Wars. Likewise, there's also a Star Wars Total Conversion mod that there is an option for. And finally, last but not least, a Final Fantasy themed playthrough. We got some magic-based mods that, you know, adds arcane energies and things that you can play around with. What could go wrong with that? So, tell me in the comments if there's any particular one you fancy seeing. Right now I'm leaning towards Mass Effect, like I said, especially with the release of the Legendary Edition in May. It just seems like good timing in general. I'm in that Mass Effect kind of mood. So, until then, I'll see you guys next time. Surah.